So it's me back with tea, and while I was just getting the tea, I thought, talk about new agey, as Troll was doing, and I'm the same. Anything that smacks of new agey, I go, cringe. And I just did it. Because I don't know what happened to the computer, but the computer wasn't working properly, the camera wasn't working properly, the microphone wasn't working properly, and it's taken the hour to, the only problem really with the camera is the battery was down on 1 bar. So it's charged up enough now, so I've done 1 half-hour video and I'm starting on another video. In other words, you're getting this. Is that synchronicity or something? I don't know what. It's something new agey that you're getting this because the computer went wrong and I was having trouble with the software for the microphone because the computer, besides its problems this morning, yesterday did an update and unloaded my software for the microphone. So all that, this morning when I first went to make the video, I thought I had it just about worked out and I could do the classic 10-minute-ish YouTube video. And because of all these problems now that you've got all this new information coming at you, you've had that one and now you've got this one. Yeah, new agey crap, eh? So, tea, good. So we've finished with that. I'll just round up again that the PW comment, the Ricardo comment, meant nothing. It was, to me, they were nonsense. But it was because I asked them a real curveball questions on a subject which is in itself a whopping great curveball. You know, it was a mad question on a mad subject. One can only expect mad answers. And this is what we get in the English school, or quite a lot of any enlightenment sort of stuff, but let's stick with the English school, is that the person sits there and says, anything I say is wrong. And then it's either an hour, 2 hours, or 5 1.5 hour sessions of people asking questions after that, knowing that all the answers are going to be wrong. And so you say, well, why does the guru sit there at the front giving wrong answers? I thought of a scenario where I could better explain. See, there's quite a lot of, I'll just explain a bit, re-explain a bit what I have been trying to do on this latest iteration of going into this Enlightenment mystic English school stuff. It's because we've got the rocks world of science, which isn't strictly rocks. It's got its woo-woo ideas of its own, but it runs into terrible trouble. Or should I start there? Okay, let's start there. We'll go to old philosophy and that Monty Python thing again. What great, I think it's opponent of Cartesian dualism states there is no point of contact between the extended and the unextended. Now, the extended is like my arm. It's extended, it's matter, it's got extension. It starts here and goes out here, it's got extension, as opposed to a thought. Let's just go for thought, because if we go to feelings and emotions and ideas, it's a bit confusing. Let's just go for thought. So this has got extension. The idea is that thought is a thing, but it doesn't have extension. This is old philosophy stuff. Bergson. No point of contact between the extended and the unextended. It's a bit like end of the pin, how many angels sort of thing. Because let's face it, as I've said before, I'm not sure that any of these philosophers ever knew anything about anything. I don't think they've really advanced philosophy anywhere in the last 2,000 years. Exaggeration. But let's say an awful lot of thought's gone into it and not much has come out of it. It probably has. Okay, so let's just spin this a bit by saying that we're people. I'm on the northern hemisphere and some of you are on the southern hemisphere. You're stuck upside down on the northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere, and I'm at least standing upright. So we're not falling off and things like that. And the Earth is turning and it's spinning around the sun, as I said in the last video. And the sun's doing something else in the, I don't know, is it Galaxy Next, which is doing something in the Milky Way. And it's all tearing around, apparently. This is what it's doing. This is what rock science says that it's doing. So let's just start with the initial problem. My arm, there are rock explanations for why the arm extended matter doesn't fly off somewhere in all this maelstrom of whirring round. Let's just throw this question out that I've never heard asked, and it probably doesn't make sense, but the unextended thought, what's a thought, rock scientists? Question mark. Any idea? The thought, the unextended thing that exists but doesn't exist, seems to, or according to a normal rock scientist would say, is still under the same laws as the extended, as in the thought doesn't stay while the extended head that produced the thought goes whizzing off round in all this lot. The thought, which isn't matter, it's unextended, comes with it. Just all I'm saying by this is, you've got the rock world, scientific rock world, and its woo-woo, its glow of woo-woo-ness that goes round it. I'm not saying that's wrong because it's a glow of woo-woo-ness. I think the glow of woo-woo-ness comes from genuine observation, but desperation that there are so many things, like ask a scientist, what consciousness is, what a thought is, and all that sort of stuff. They haven't got a clue. We go to the one that Ricardo's working on at the moment with his friend Mr. Spira. Does the rocks actually create the consciousness? Or does consciousness create the rocks? Apparently. And everybody, because we've been brought up ever since we were young, most people have been brought up ever since they were young, to believe that the matter creates the thoughts, the ideas, the unextended, the consciousness, the awareness and all that. The matter does it. This matter that's whizzing round at so many trillion miles an hour in this direction and that direction all at the same time. Right, okay. I think that little build-up was to wobble you a bit, to say, yes, I know, it's frustrating, and the chances of it being total crap in a normal life of other things is exceptionally high. We've been through the New Age wah wah woo woo, and we've come through all that, and this is just more of it. The chances of it being total crap are huge. But I think that this is a lot more interesting than the New Age wah-wah stuff, which always seem to explain things or to give people what they could want or give them ways of getting what they wanted. This, in its bare bones English school thing, says anything that I say is wrong. Finish. Question comes, oh, why you bloody talk about it then? Okay. Scenario. Checks time. Scenario. You've got A and B, boy and girl, on holiday, looking at mountain. Boy says, oh, that's a nice mountain. And girl says, fuck. And he says, yeah, it's a really fucking nice mountain. It's really nice. She says, no. And he says, yeah, well, you know, it's not that nice a mountain. She says, no. And he says, well, you know, I quite like it. It's all right, it's a mountain. And she says, no, it's not. This is enlightened. She's just been enlightened, by the way, to keep you up to date. It's not a mountain. What? It's not a mountain. It's just... These aren't hands. You aren't A. What? What do you mean I'm not A? Of course I'm A. No, you're just... It's just happening. This is... And then she goes with the, this is just what is. That's just there. But it's the same as here. And here is doing the same as there. It's all the same. What are you talking about, you silly tart? Her point of view has gone. She's got no point of view left. She can't say that the mountain is over there because she doesn't believe that she is here anymore. She is not anywhere. She does not think that that mountain is solid and made of rock because she doesn't have a point of view to say that she is solid and made of rock. It's not lack of memory, it's lack of position. There's no time and there's no place anymore. There's no place, there's no distance for that to be any distant over there. Everything is here. There's no differential between here and there anymore. That all points of view have gone, which points of view could be, in brackets, generated by having a single point of view and then all other points of view, like I can see that the boyfriend might be able to see further over there. That's gone because your point of view's gone, so you can't understand his point of view because it would be worked out from the reference of your point of view. You've got no place and you've got no time anymore. There's just happening stuff going on. Right. I was going to go on, but I won't go on and on. This is what we have. Okay, we've got A and B. The girl has gone into no point of view anymore. She's got no place or time. But, so what she says is, it's just what's happening. It's happening now. It's not particularly happening over there, and it's not happening here. It's just happening, right? But it is happening. Now, for the boyfriend, it started happening a minute ago. She started going all funny, and now she's still funny a minute later. But for her, it's just, there's no minutes ago. It's just, there's no point of view for time and place anymore. But she is still happening. In the happening. And she doesn't just crumble and fall to the floor. In or whoosh off. Or the extended parts of her whoosh off that way. And the unextended parts of her whoosh off that way. It seems to hold together. In the same way, what she's saying is, nothing's changed. The boyfriend's there. But from the point of view of no point of view, he is not different to anything anymore, because there's no point of view here to say it's different from here. He's different to the mountain or anything. But the things are still happening, but they're not happening in time for her. They are just always now, because there's no point of reference to have the time differential. They're happening now. But from the point of view of the boyfriend, things are still happening in time. She's still there. She's still saying, fuck, fuck, fuck. So he says, well, I think we could get back to the tent in about an hour and we can do some fucking. And she says, okay. That's it. It's from the introduction video. You're looking at banking from here, or you're looking at banking from here. You've got to look at it from her point of view, and you've got to look at it from his point of view. His point of view is totally valid. Her point of view is totally valid. She's just said, according to him, that she wants to go back to the tent to fuck. So they go back to the tent, and according to him, the next morning, last night, good fucking. Ask her, and she says, oh, it's good fucking. But she is still not there. She has been fucking, and the day and night and morning has passed in, for her, no position, no time, no space, just isness. And he's trying to still bother her about this, that, and the other, asking her silly questions about things. And she will try to give answers, probably. Mostly explaining to him that he doesn't exist, and him saying, don't be bloody silly, and giving another good fucking just to prove that he exists. But it doesn't prove it to her. During the new good fucking, she doesn't think that she exists, and she doesn't think there's time, space, or anything. And he's proving nothing. And time goes on, according to him. According to her, time does not go on. But according to him, weeks go by, months go by, years go by, and she's still doing things. She's changing, she's getting older, she's talking more sensibly about how she feels about life. And he sometimes thinks he can understand it, but is thinking she's really getting a bit too weird and staying a bit too weird, and she can't concentrate on seemingly on things good enough now, and she doesn't want to have a baby anymore, and I thought she did, and this isn't working out. And for her, she's still not in time and place as a person with a point of view. She is not a person with no point of view. She's just hasn't got a point of view. But there's no she not to have a point of view. There is just a girl there just seeing things. And she sees them in the now, as they are. Just being as they are. Everything is just being as they are. There's no now to her either. It just is. It is what it is. And he leaves her. And she goes and talks to other people about it. Or doesn't go to talk about it to other people. But she finds she can never explain it to other people, because they all have a point of view. And her trying to explain her non-point of view is impossible to somebody with a point of view. And anything she says about her non-point of view, or trying to explain how life is with a non-point of view, never works to explaining it to somebody with a point of view that wants to get somewhere in time and space. You probably do as well, so I'll leave it there, because Sunday you've certainly suffered enough. So it's not surprising the comment section goes bizarre. It's not surprising that there's frustration. I'm not enlightened. I have a point of view, but I don't particularly mind listening to people without a point of view trying to explain something to me. Even if they say, well, this is what is, because at base I can go, okay, at least I can relate to that. Any other explanation about what's going on runs into rock science and all sorts of stuff which I know I've got no real justification for. I can't really explain it and justify it by saying I really understand that this is this and she's just a batty old bitch. I know I don't have what it takes to say there is more than if there is, this is, being is, this is. Another 10 minutes. Enough.